The Farming Show, brought to you by Balance Agri-Nutrients. All you need to grow.
Sir William Gallagher or Gallagher?
Oh, Gallagher usually here.
And yet everyone knows your company. All cockies call it Gallagher's.
We'll take it either way. It's an Irish name. My great-grandfather, my ancestors, and it's Gallagher in Irish. But in USA and Australia, it's definitely the hard G, Gallagher. Normally UK and here it's a slightly softer G.
Do I call you Sir William or Bill?
Well, William.
Or William.
William, yes. Yeah. Now, the Sir Bill didn't go very well, so we've got to William.
You must be so proud every year you turn up here. You've been at the Fieldays since day one. You were there in 1969 when this thing kicked off at the Tarapa racecourse.
That's right. Yes. So I was part of the original organising committee. And in fact, I was part of the committee that bought this property. And this property, what's unique about it is it's sand loam, it's a riverbank, and it'd be one of the few parts of the Waikato you can drive a vehicle over in the middle of winter without going down to your axles.
Yeah, because sometimes in the car park up on the hill it can get a bit
that's a bit different. That is typical Waikato up there. Yeah. And the first few years we used to have tractors up there to pull the cars out. But when you come down here, you can run machinery all over it, and it's great. And in fact, as a dairy farm, in fact, we bought it quite cheap because as a dairy farm it was pretty hopeless because it had irrigation, and you needed that because it dried out in the summer. So as a dairy farmer, it wasn't so good, but as an exhibition site, absolutely beaut.
What is the pulse out there in terms of agriculture? You've been in the game a long, long time. You've got an iconic New Zealand company servicing farmers. Where are we at on the barometer? I like the 1 to 10 scale, and some of the people are saying we're about a 7 at the moment. Where do you see?
No, my top of the head, I'd say about 8. Pretty optimistic. We've seen the dairy price, up all time and then dip down. It's sort of recovered a bit. But the forward view is really excellent. And I just heard John Key saying, rightly so, that you've got Asia, you've got living standards coming up very fast, and living standards come up, the diet changes. It moves far towards more protein, and that's what New Zealand's good with. So, and we're seeing the whole lot. Dairy's, very strong, and so's beef and sheep. Well, sheep's dipped a little, but it's certainly tracking up. But we have the ups and downs, and that's life.
He talked about Asia. It's very much our future, isn't it?
Oh yes, and that's the biggies, of course, India and China. China's probably progressing faster. India's they've got a democracy which makes any hard decisions pretty difficult. As we find even in places like here, hard political decisions, you tend to get fired by the electorate if you come on too hard. And India, because we've got a company in India, in Bangalore, and that's both security and agriculture. But that's got a few challenges. I was very excited in the 90s because they had all these reforms. And if they only did some of them, I cooled down when, 10 years later, very few of the reforms are happening. They're coming very slow. Whereas China, they don't have the resource management getting in their way. If they're going to put a highway through here, be careful if you go to work in the morning, your house might not be there when you come back.
And protesting isn't always a wise idea in China.
No, I think that you need a balance. Human rights, I think, are very important, and if they're not respected, you've got a big disadvantage. But
okay. Perhaps just a final word on your company. How much of your total income is from export or export income as opposed to domestic here in this country?
Oh, in the 70 to 80% offshore. By volume, it'll be around the 80%. New Zealand's a very important market. If you're going to be number one in the world, you need a market with the most demanding customer. And agriculture, we're in the right place because unsubsidised agriculture. And in fact, New Zealand, we'd be probably the only country in the world with a Western class standard of living based on unsubsidised agriculture. And you just think about it, there's really none other. Australia's a little bit, but they've gone far more towards mineral wealth, whereas we're depending on agriculture. And it's great. You as a demanding customer, you really got good products, and if they're good here, we can sell them around the world.
Good on you. Hey, Sir William Gallagher, always a pleasure to catch up with you at Fieldays. It wouldn't be the same without having a yarn. Appreciate your time.
Right, thank you, James.
There you go.